Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and I am filming this on December 4th of 2024. You guys will see this in January. So let's escape to the world of Arendelle. So we're going to be looking at Frozen. So this is a 2013 Disney film where we are introduced to Anna and Elsa, the princesses of Arendelle. So the basis of this story is you have two sisters who are the princesses of Arendelle, and they live in, I'm guessing it's either Finland or Norway. Basically, they lived in the Scandinavian countries where it's very, very cold. And there's all sorts of things. The first scene starts out talking about ice, and you see a young boy and a reindeer trying to capture ice. And then it goes to Arendelle, where little Anna, the younger of the two sisters, is waking up her big sister Elsa. Elsa has snow powers. So they go into the ballroom, and Elsa is making all sorts of things with the snow. And then she accidentally hits Anna in the head with her snow powers. Her father bursts in with her mother. Her father is freaked out. It's like her powers are getting too strong. What the heck do we do? They go to the trolls, and basically Grandpappy Troll takes Anna's memories away and changes them. He leaves the fun, but he takes away his memories of Elsa's powers. And he tells Elsa that she needs to learn to control them, and that love is important. That last part is forgotten, and control is misinterpreted to repress. So they go home, and Elsa now got stuck in her head, and her parents do not change this, that it is her fault. She is maybe about 8 years old at this time. The girls are about 3 years apart. So she gets in her head that this was her fault, and that touching people will hurt them. So she and Anna, who used to share a room, don't share a room anymore. She does not see her sister. She's afraid to hurt her sister. She loves Anna, but she's afraid to hurt her sister. And she won't let her parents touch her, because she cannot seem to control her ice magic. She starts wearing gloves. Her father is very pushing. You have to conceal, don't feel. So she's repressing her emotions, because when she gets upset, her powers follow suit. And so she pretty much works on not feeling almost anything. So then you have the second major song. The first one talks about the ice. The second one, and then we also, when they're doing the whole grandpappy thing, you have a young boy and his reindeer watching in. He comes back. So he exists for a reason. If you're not clear, that would be the reindeer and Sven. Kristoff and Sven. So you see them as little ones, and of course they're taken by the trolls. But we'll get back to that. So you have the next song, which is Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Which is kind of a montage of Anna trying to get Elsa to talk to her and open the door and interact with her. It's like, we used to be best buddies and now we're not. And you won't tell me why. So she, all of a sudden, her sister, she doesn't remember Elsa's magic, but she remembers their relationship, which again goes to the fact that Grandpappy did not want Elsa to repress her magic. He wasn't telling her she was evil. That was on her father. We blame Dad for that, and Mom for keeping her mouth shut. And I have not watched Frozen 2 yet. We will review that next week. As of this point, I have not watched it yet. So we will get there. There's obviously the black story. But in the course of this film, we don't know anything. So Mom and Dad are completely quiet on this. And Dad is very much blaming Elsa and he's reinforcing Elsa blaming herself. And they don't push through her saying, don't touch me, I'll hurt you. So they really are crappy parents. They close the gates, they close the windows, they lock up the palace. So Anna is left alone for her childhood, her entire childhood. She interacts with servants, she interacts with her parents, but and I'm sure they have a palace garden, but she cannot go outside the gates. She doesn't have anybody to play with. Elsa will not talk to her. She doesn't really see her sister when she's about 15. Yeah, because I think Elsa's 18. Their parents decide to go off on a ship and then proceed to die. So now Anna's really alone. It's like she had a relationship. She loved her parents. They loved her. Unfortunately, her father, again, was very much obsessed with Elsa controlling her powers and not really loving his kid. Yeah, these girls have issues. Lots of issues. But, so, then we jump to 3 years later. And we have our next song. So, and that, yes, all of this happens in the How You Build a Snowman. And it ends with, basically, Anna being at their parents' funeral. And Anna going to the door where her sister's at. It's like, Elsa, are you in there? It's just the two of us. Everybody's asking where you are. And then, of course, she goes into how do you want to build a snowman? And then we jump to 3 years later, the day of Elsa's coronation. She is now 21. Anna is 18. They're opening up the palace for the first time in forever. And Anna is so happy. Again, she's been pretty much imprisoned here with the servants. And for most of the time, her parents, but the last 3 years, it's literally been her and the servants, and her sisters having nothing to do with it anyway. Until she has to, because now she has to be crowned queen because she's now 21. So, and I'm assuming she's ruling things somewhat, and there's something going on there. They don't exactly explain, one, why Anna's not being allowed to interact with anybody. And two, who's running things for 3 years? Because I'm assuming Elsa's being 18, she can probably kind of control things, but she hasn't been crowned queen yet. So you go through this song, how Anna's so happy. It's maybe I'll fall in love. At least I have a chance. It's only for 1 day, so I don't really have a lot of time. They're opening the gates. The windows are opening. We have a ballroom. We've never had a ball. Essentially, she's just going crazy. And she runs into a gentleman, a Prince Hinds from the Southern Isles. And then the other main person who's coming in is this gentleman who's a Weatherby or something. One of their biggest trading partners, who's just kind of a demented little old scared man. And yes, he plays an important role here. So, Anna meets Hinds. They crown. And in the refrain, of course, you have Elsa, who's like, it's only for 1 day. And going over this conceal, don't feel, and the lines from the next song, don't let them know. Be the good girl you always have to be. So again, she's repressing her bloody emotions and trying to control her ice magic, which she can't. So she is crowned queen. They have a ball. She does have a regular back and forth with her sister. They seem to be picking up as close as sisters. And Elsa sends Anna off to dance because, of course, Elsa's not going to dance with anybody. She's afraid to touch anyone because she's afraid to freeze people. So she does touch Anna and pushes her off to go dance with people. And she ends up dancing with Hinds, and they have this whole saying, love is an open door, where he is too good to be true, and he proposes. And they go to ask for Elsa's blessing, and she's like, you don't know him. No. No, no, no. I am not giving you my blessing. You don't know what love is. No. And then the girls have a fight. Her sister takes her glove off, and Elsa's magic goes bonkers. And she goes running off. And of course, everybody's terrified. And then she sets off Eternal Winter because her emotions have gone bonkers. And she's really, really powerful. And that's what happens when you repress your emotions for most of your life is when you finally let them loose, because they do eventually break loose, things have a tendency to go bonkers really, really quick. Just not like this. But again, it's a very good representation of what happens when you are repressing your emotions since you were like 8 or 9 years old. So Elsa goes running off. She literally turns the lake where their castle is onto ice. Everything's turned to ice and it's slowly getting colder. So Anna gets her horse. It's like, I'm going after my sister. And she puts Hinds in charge because she thinks he's a good guy. We'll get to him. He's not the good guy. And this would be our darling prince here. So Anna goes off into the forest, loses her horse, finds Oaken's trading post, where she basically goes to buy boots and warm clothing. Kristoff comes in to get carrots and a rope, but he only has 10 of whatever currency they have, and Orkin wants 40, and they argue, and Orkin throws him out as my cat knocks over boxes. Hand her up. Did I mention it's the 4th of December? I'm getting Christmas boxes. But moving on. So what Anna ends up doing is she buys his rope and his carrots, because of course he has Sven, and her own stuff, and comes to the little lean-to that he is hiding in. Sorry, Kendra, you came in here. You will stay here until I finish filming. Do not meow at the door. So, moving on. Anna insists, take me to the North Mountain. So, now, specifically. It's like, do not in the morning, now. I am going to be a princess, and now. So, they go, they get attacked by wolves, and then they end up running into Olaf, which is this creature here. So when they were little, Elsa made Olaf. Then when she went crazy, she made Olaf again, and only this time he's alive. Now, prior to all of this, you get the Let It Go song, where you have Elsa walking into the snow, basically singing that she is free. Basically, she gets to let her powers go, and you see her learning how to use her powers and ends up creating an ice palace and being happy that she doesn't have to hide anymore. She doesn't have to follow the rules anymore. It's like, everybody knows everything. I don't care. Yes, I'm alone, but I don't care. So, and that's what Let It Go is all about. It's literally about just being able to finally be yourself. Yes, she's completely alone, because again, you have the Kingdom of Isolation. It looks like I'm the Queen song. And yes, I've heard this quite a bit. I practically have this song memorized. As do a lot of people. And it is a very good song, as annoying as it got. So, but yes, that is what this song is about. It's about her finally not having to repress herself. You see her take off her crown, let down her hair, and basically just be herself and get out of her royal clothing as into the traditional kind of light blue white that Elsa is known for. As I pick up this cat, I can roll. Old girl. Sit in the lap and go back to sleep or something. And her off. Do not mess around with boxes. Sorry. Cats. Old cats. In this case. But nonetheless. So, Anna finally gets to Elsa, and it's like, I love you. And then you have the refrain of want to build a snowman, the same tune, only Anna is talking to Elsa saying, You're not alone. I'm with you this time. I'm not afraid. And then they kind of go into this talking thing where it's like, Anna, go home. Go back to the spring. And Elsa's like, yeah, there's a problem here. It's kind of internal winter. And Elsa goes nuts. She's like, what? I can't control this. She pretty much goes into the guilt spiral of this is my fault. I can't control this. I am evil. This is what is in her mind, that there is something wrong with her magic. That her magic is wrong. Because that's what her father has put into her head. And what is, of course, Grandpappy did not intend this. He never said this. He didn't say isolate yourself. He said control your magic, not repress it. So, and it's like, yeah. But Elsa's pretty much goes into this spiral, and then she makes Elsa leave. She creates a giant snow monster and sends her and Kristoff off. But she'd also hit Anna's heart with her magic. And then, of course, she really does freak out. And Kristoff realizes that her hair is going white. Let's go to my family, which is he takes her to the trolls. They do a whole song with basically about how he's a fixer-upper. Now, and then they realize she's engaged to somebody else. It's like, she's a fixer-upper too. The point of this song is to stand in contrast to Love is an Open Door, where she's talking to Hans. Hans is too good to be true. He is perfect. Kristoff isn't. But Kristoff loves her. That's the difference. Kristoff loves her. She's not perfect either. And they argue. But she knows Kristoff a heck of a lot better than she knows Hans. Because, you know, they've had conversations that are not, like, in a short period of, like, 10 minutes. They're actually getting to know each other over many hours. Kendra? No. They take him to the trolls. After this song, Grandpappy says, like, only an act of true love can heal the heart. So they take her back to the castle thinking Hans is her true love. No. Now, in the meanwhile, Hans, with a whole bunch of people, go and capture Elsa. Hans uses her guilt against her to prevent her from defending herself, and makes her feel guilty because she's about to kill people. And she pretty much collapses in unconsciousness and wakes up locked in a dungeon with her hands covered in metal. And everything's getting even colder. So, and the reason he's come after her is because he thinks Anna's dead. Because her horse has come back. So, Kendra. But, nonetheless. So, Anna shows up. It's like, oh crap. Basically, Hans says, it's like, you need to kiss her. And then you find out really who Hans is. Now, he's already talked to Elsa, and it's like, the people have locked you up, and it's like, I will talk to them. It's like, yeah. It's like, you have to let me go. Otherwise, this isn't going to stop. Now, in Hans's head, Elsa dies, everything goes back to normal. So, Anna comes back. He's like, uh-oh, that's not good. They leave them alone. He opens the windows. He closes the fires. It's like, yeah, I was 13th in line to the throne. I always knew that I would have to marry to get power. Nobody was going anywhere near Elsa, but you wanted love so badly. So you were easy. And it's like, I knew I was going to have to stage an accident for Elsa. So he's literally admitting that he intended to kill Elsa and take the throne by being married to Anna. And now it's like, you're dying. Too bad nobody loves you. And then he puts out the fire and locks her in the room and tells everybody she's dead. So, and then Elsa killed her, and now we have to kill Elsa. They go to attack her, but again, everything is freezing. Elsa escapes because she doesn't know what to do. She's terrified, which is the reason things are going even more nuts, because she's scared. So her powers are just going absolutely haywire. Kendra, not now. Sorry about the meowing cat. Moving on. So, Elsa's escaped. She's walking on the frozen lake. Olaf shows up, starts talking to Anna, starts putting her near the fire, closing the window, covering her up, and basically explaining that Kristoff loves her. It's like, you really have no idea what love is, do you? And she's admitted that. It's like, I have no idea what the heck love is. It's like, Kristoff loves you. It's taking care of someone. That's what it means. It means occasionally doing stuff that you don't like to help someone. So Anna realizes what's going on. Kristoff has gone off. Sven makes him turn around because Sven is irritated with him. Yes, that's the reindeer. And then he looks and it's like, there's a giant storm going over Arendelle. I need to go back because obviously things are not going back to back to normal. So then you have the whole montage of Elsa's out on the ice. Anna's trying to get to Kristoff. Kristoff's trying to get to Anna. Then there's a whole big conversation where there's a big giant storm tunneling around. Hans tells Elsa that he killed Anna, that Anna is dead and it is all her fault. She stops the storm because now she's just crying. And Kristoff and Anna are about to get together. Kendra get down. And then Anna sees that Kristoff is about to kill Elsa and goes and blocks him just as she turns to ice. And his sword shatters on frozen Anna. And Elsa looks up. It's like, Anna, you sacrificed yourself for me. And she's holding her sister's ice body. And it's like, I love you. You're everything. Please come back. And her love melts Anna. And then she realizes, oh, love. That's the key to controlling everything. And she turns everything back to normal. And they're standing on a ship. And Kristoff is going to go smack Hans, who's now on the ground. Anna is like, nope. She walks over to him. It's like, Anna, your heart was frozen. She's like, yeah, the only person with a frozen heart is you. She proceeds to punch him and knock him into the water. The next time you see him, he's being thrown by his own people into a prison cell on his own ship where they're talking to. And then they're talking to the ambassadors and representatives of Arendelle. It's like, yeah, we're going to take him back home and see what his brothers think of trying to take over somebody else's country by killing two people. Kendra, stop being annoying. Yeah. And then, of course, the guy who was helping gear him on, who was the main travel trading partner, is being escorted off. And then he is told by the representatives, like, yeah, there's a message from Queen Elsa. We're not going to trade with you at all. Go away. And they're basically thrown onto a ship. And then Elsa kind of creates a winter wonderland because she now has control of her powers. Oh, and prior to that on the ship, she gives Olaf his own snow flurry so he doesn't melt. So now he can experience spring and flowers. And Anna gives Kristoff a new sled, and now he's the chief ice deliverer and cutter for the palace, which is now his job. And then they kiss, and then they have the whole big snow thing, and it's fun. I enjoy this film. Again, there are two main points here. Anna learning that love is messy and not perfect, and Elsa learning that you can't repress your emotions, my dear. It does not work. It does not work. Bad things happen, and you have to let people in. You have to let people love you and help you, because closing everything off just makes it worse. So those are the two main things. And of course, Hans learns that, yeah, you probably shouldn't go messing with magical powers. And that's a yelling cat. So now this is loosely inspired by the Snow Queen, which I will, can't remember what orders these are going in, will be reviewed. In fact, I'll be reviewing it shortly. So, I'm going to pick up this cat again. Oh, she is 15 years old. I've had her since she was a baby. She is, however, very, very irritating and extremely cranky. Because, again, she's a 15-year-old. But I enjoy this film. I mean, It's Elsa's love that heals Anna. So that is true. That is an act of true love, isn't the prince's kiss. Though I'm sure Kristoff kissing her would handle Anna problem, wouldn't really handle Elsa problem. So then you'd have to deal with Elsa and Hans problem. And yeah, so it needed to be Elsa to save her, because it made Elsa realize that it's her love, and that's probably what would have helped last time, would be her love. Kendra would have helped Anna, but her father was just so utterly terrified and wanted her to repress everything and wanted her to be normal. The air quotes of what the heck is normal. I'm sitting here with a yelling cat. It's normal. But yeah, I'm not, after watching this, I don't like the parents of Anna and Elsa, particularly not their father. He messed up his kids. You lock them both up. You don't let your daughter know that no, this is not her fault. She's a small child, it is an accident, and show her love. And then you lock away both daughters and repress Anna because she doesn't have socialization. You do understand why on earth, yes, they make fun of it, Disney, of you can't marry someone after knowing them for one day. It's like if it's true love. Well, again, Anna is an 18-year-old girl who's been locked up away from anybody her own age since she was like 6. Of course, she doesn't understand what the heck love is or anybody else is. She's been locked up since she was 6. She's 18. The only people she's interacted with were the servants. And then her parents died when she was like 15. So it's like, yeah, it's understandable. And then, yeah, Elsa's father pretty much told her to repress her emotions and made her think her magic was evil and horrible. So yeah, a lot of this was caused by their father and their mother not standing up. I do not know Mom's backstory yet. I have not watched Frozen 2. We will get there. But as of right now, yeah, I do enjoy this movie. Let It Go is really a great song. It resonates with a lot of people on the disabilities. I am dyslexic, so I definitely understand what that is. My daughter is not neurotypical. Neither is my husband, though I'm not sure he fully understands that he's not neurotypical. Because, he plays online poker like 5 to 8 games at a time, and he can play up to 15 if he really wants to. So, that's not, it's not neurotypical. Not to mention other things. My husband is very much a math genius. So, nonetheless. So, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I will be finishing off Frozen 2. I will be covering Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. I'm going to be covering the story as told in the fairy tales by Shelley Duvall. Not sure what, I think there's only 3 Fridays in January. Or no, there's 4, but I've already done Wreck-It Ralph. So, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. So you can check that out. That will be coming before this would be that would have been the first Friday of January. So, and then we're moving on to The Lion King, which means I have to watch the live action Lion King. I'm not happy about that. And then we'll be moving on to all the other princesses. So, and the only reason I'm not doing Princess and the Frog is because I've done it already. It's already been covered. You can check it out. The reason I'm not covering Beauty and the Beast this year is because I did it this year. I did this, in 2024. And I'm covering Cinderella again. But that's because there's a lot of Cinderella. I have actually covered her before and did about 2 years ago is when I covered Cinderella. But there's a lot of Cinderella. So, but otherwise we're covering a bunch of the other Disney princesses. So, like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. And I will see you next time. Thank you.